Invest Group was founded in 1988 to render unequal service to operators in the maritime sector through a small facility under lease in One Port, the world's biggest oil and gas free zone. Over the years, the group, which established a close relationship with players in the oil and gas industry, as well as operators of the One Port free zone, have grown to become the leading oil and gas integrated logistics service provider in Nigeria. Let's meet Simon Volpe, the Managing Director, Intels.
Orlean Invest name came a bit later. When this company started in the early 80s, I believe 83, but I was not here, so I'm not 100% sure. The company was by then called Nicotes. The idea, our chairman, who's actually also my father, founder and chairman, started in Nigeria to work for a shipping line called Medafrica Line. After a few years, he decided he moved out of the shipping company, and he had an idea to set up a container terminal in Onne. I believe initially it was a 5-year lease from the Nigerian Ports Authority. The port, again, as I was telling you, was abandoned, so we started having a small terminal only at the Federal Lighter Terminal. I don't know if you guys went to see the base. Just a small portion of the terminal. And we started operations as Nicotes, receiving containers.
Driven by a corporate resolve to achieve results, Orlean Invest Group took advantage of its presence in One Free Zone to carry top-notch, out-of-the-box service delivery in the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. Therefore, following the conclusion of the concessionary agreement by the federal government in 2003, Intel Nigeria Limited was born, and having been awarded license to operate, spared no cost to add value to clients' needs.
Due to the relationship my father was able to build with the industry community in Nigeria, Agip actually was then developing the Agbara field, which, by the way, is still producing today. The managing director, or the man in charge for Agip by then, I believe Mr. Moscato, if I remember well, again, I was a little boy by then, asked my father whether Nicotes would be able to provide some storage space and key space to support their drilling activity in Agbara. Of course, by then we were not really, we did not have any experience in the oil and gas, because historically, our background was shipping. But due to the fact that Agip asked us to provide the facility, we started providing different type of services to normal container handler. And well, to make it short, then basically the company decided to focus or to specialize in the logistics side for the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. After Agip, other clients decided to relocate their support base. By support base, what I mean is to have a stacking area or warehouse or office or whatever facilities they need to store material, which normally is imported either by sea or by air from Europe, America, Far East. Materials and cargo which is then utilized to either carry out exploration or production activities onshore and offshore in Nigeria, as well as project cargo for a refinery or for a gas plant or whatever industrial asset, an oil producing company or a company related to the oil and gas could develop in Nigeria.
Orlean Invest Group, a highly visionary private partner in the oil and gas service center, have undoubtedly made heavy investments running into millions of dollars to ensure that international standard is maintained in the facility managed by DMS International Limited. Sunny Wama is the general manager.
The relationship between DMS and the clients can be taken from the point of view of doing a PPP, which I must tell you would have been one of the greatest advantage of one of the reasons why our free zone has become a success. Now, DMS is a private company interfacing between the government agencies and then the private sectors. So DMS has become an interface link between the government and the private sector. If you come today in One can pride itself of having the best equipment in Africa. There are 2 cranes that can run on itself to discharge up to 250 tons of cargo. You cannot find it in anywhere in Africa. So these things are not prepared for today, but they are prepared for the future. So peeping into the future, we have brought phase 4B, we have brought phase 4, and we're going into Ipokiri subsequently to prepare for Nigeria oil development for the future. If you were here, how many years back, we had Federal Lighter Terminal and Federal Ocean Terminal. Federal Lighter Terminal was developed, was constructed for just lighter of vessels. But the Orlean Invest group looked into the future, understanding that oil production has gone into ultra-deep offshore arrangement. And then they have created Federal Ocean Terminal, which is very good. And then today, everybody can be proud of. DMS has also made it by way of encouraging the developers of this zone. The major developer of this zone is the Orlean Invest. Nigerian Ports Authority owns the land, but they have a kind of synergy with Orlean Invest because this place is concession into so many other concessionaires. But in this free zone, Orlean Invest is the major concessionaires, and they have developed the place to a very tremendous extent.
The oil and gas free zone offers strategic benefits and incentives to investors ranging from no Form M prior to shipment, simple registration procedures, faster services, easy cargo customs clearing procedure, no red tape, 75% duty rebate, duty-free stock within the zone, amongst others. Taking cognizance of these facts, Orlean Invest Group is on ground to provide oil companies and service companies alike virtually everything needed to operate efficiently in the Phase 4 project. Honorable Victor Alabo, the Managing Director and Chief Executive, Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority, also lends his voice to the success of the free zone.
I want to commend Orleans because the level of investment they have done in the free zones shows that they have faith in the economy of this country. Except you have faith in the economy of this country, we won't be able to do that level of investment. Take, for instance, the development of the free zone was in phases. The first phase was to ensure there is provision for a logistic hub to be able to service the drilling wells and the oil facilities offshore. For you to have a logistics hub, you must have all the facilities like communication, cranes, boats, and so on and so forth, to be able to have an effective communication hub. That we have achieved here. The logistics hub here is so effective that some of the facilities, if you go around the free zone, some of the cranes you even see here, you can only get this type here in Africa. It's one. In some other places in this country or outside this country, you can't have them. So it has achieved the purpose of having a good, effective logistics hub. That is why most of the oil companies are operating in the free zone, because their activities are done without hitches.
Adamu Atiku is a Business Development Director, Orlean Invest, and the Deputy Managing Director, Intels.
We inherited a deficient port, a port that was abandoned, a port that was not functioning, a port that was completely dead, put it like that. In terms of the infrastructure that was on ground when we did inherit the facility, for example in FLT, which then was more busier than FOT, because back then we're only concentrating in land, shallow, swamp, drilling activities. So back then it did not need the larger vessels per se to come in for materials and to load out materials. So 6 meters, 7 meters draft was very convenient to accommodate such smaller vessels. That is why I want to believe that the infrastructure we did inherit in FLT was a lot much bigger than that of FLT. I recall when we inherited FLT, they had a jetty length of about 1,000 meters. They had an industrial area of about 350,000 square meters. But I can confidently tell you that today we have developed it 3 times more than what we did inherit. Today I'm proud to say that we have a jetty length of about 3,000 meters in FLT and an industrial area with well over 3 million square meters, comprising of offices, industrial areas, warehouses, chemical sheds, you name it. And the similar thing for FOT. When we inherited FOT, I think it only had about 300 meters of draft. Today I'm proud to say that we have almost 2,000 meters of jetty.
Mike Epele is the General Manager, Legal, Corporate, Contracts and Compliance.
What is unique about Orlean Invest services is the fact that we aim at providing a complete range of support services to operators in the oil and gas industry. This was a concept conceived by our founders over 30 years ago to provide efficient, cost-effective, timely and reliable full range package of services and facilities to operators in the oil and gas industry. And we have done this to a huge success over the years. Orlean Invest Africa is the directed mind behind what has been achieved so far by our group, the companies in our group. And the success that we have recorded has attracted all the major oil companies in Nigeria to come to our bases in Onne, Calabar, Warri. We're also involved in a base in Lagos, and all of them are running efficiently. We provide 24-hour service, 365 days in a year, and all amenities, all the support, even equipment we also provide through some of our subsidiaries. We can provide end-to-end support facilities and services to operators in the oil and gas industry.
Apart from the Phase 4 project, due to foresight, vision, courage and hard work, the group commenced another project in the Oil and Gas Service Center, the Phase 4B project, also known as a game changer in the port.
We have gone a step further by taking up additional area within the zone. When I say taking up, I mean we already have the land, or MPA has the land. We have leased the land from MPA, but we had to further develop the land because the land we got from MPA was swamp and not in a good condition to house any or to build any solid structure on. So right now, as I speak to you, we have gone into a Phase 4 development. And the development is divided into 2. We have Phase 4A and Phase 4B. Phase 4A is designed actually to be able to receive an FPSO vessel. An FPSO vessel is as large, it's a 300 plus meter vessel that needs well over a 600 meter turning basin so that it could conveniently turn. And why have we done this? We have anticipated the need of the industry in the next 5 to 6 years. It is forecasted Nigeria will need 5 to 6 FPSOs. And in line with the Nigerian content law, it is mandatory by a certain percentage of the works in building that FPSO must be done locally. So we have quickly, as usual, jumped ahead of ourselves, invested in acquiring that land, sand filling it, reclaiming it, bringing it up to, developing the type of facility that will need to accommodate an FPSO. So some of the characteristics in phase 4A development is it's a 90 hectare of land. It's gonna have 1,100 meters of quay with a 50-ton load-bearing capacity. The highest I've heard anywhere in the world today is about 30. No terminal in the world today has gone up to 50 tons per square meter. It's got a 12-meter draft and a low water tide, and it also has about 200,000 square meters of industrial area. So those are some of the characteristics of phase 4A. In its present state, it can conveniently receive and accommodate the integration of modules and platforms on the hull of the FPSO.
Innovation is at the heart of Orlean Invest Group, and it constitutes a critical element of the business. The company therefore boasts of highly industrialized facilities, especially the crane, which is capable of multitasking and other high-tech equipment for efficient and effective service delivery.
The LMH 600, which is popularly known as Big Mama. It's one of its kind in West Africa today. It's a huge investment on its own. I think it cost about $6 million for that. And as I said, it's one of its kind, and for its maximum capacity, I think at 17 meters, which is the longest outreach, it can conveniently lift 200 tons. Yes. Besides that, we do also have a 400 and a 550 LMH, which is a Leaper manufacturer, the model, and they can actually work in sync, synchronized, and both of them do have actually a combined lifting capacity of about 250 tons. And what is so good about that particular crane is that one crane operator can actually operate both cranes simultaneously. Yes. And we do also have 2 of those cranes stationed in one of our terminals.
Orlean Invest Group has participated actively in a number of landmark projects in Nigeria to date. A common feature in the oil and gas industry is heavy-duty pipes and other related equipment for optimal service delivery. And so, as a pace-setter in the oil and gas free zone, the group assures clients of proximity to every service offered. Damola Babalola is the Institutional Relations Manager, Pipe Coaters Nigeria Limited.
The Pipe Coaters Nigeria Limited started operations within the Oil and Gas Service Center in One in 2001. The primary aim or focus of Pipe Coaters Nigeria Limited is to provide pipe coating services for the oil and gas industry. Our major clients include companies like ExxonMobil, Total, Shell, and we provide them with quite a number of services. Within the last 14 years, we have grown in leaps and bounds in terms of our capacity as a company and in terms of the personnel that we have working within our company. The services that we offer and what makes us unique, it's actually the range of services. First and foremost, we provide external anti-corrosion coating for line pipes and vents and accessories. We provide also internal coating. We provide concrete weight coating for these line pipes. Now, in terms of our capacity, we are the only company in Nigeria that provides thermal insulation coating in Nigeria. And at our last research, we found out that there were very few, if any, of these companies also providing, or any company providing thermal insulation coating in Africa. We also have installed in our facility a double welded jointing facility where we can coat 24 meters of pipe. This is the only facility that has that capacity to provide coating for 24 meters of pipe. And we also occupy the largest space within the on-air free trade zone. We have what we call 3 LPP coating, and then we have 5 LPP coating. We are going to continue to provide these services in Nigeria to our clients, and we hope to expand the scope of our services also in Nigeria.
It has also developed a reputation for providing a one-stop shop for industry players in oil and gas activities. And so, the group identifies, attracts, develops, and retains a dynamic team of world-class professionals. Property development company Prodeco is one of the subsidiaries established by the group to add value to client needs to meet and surpass competition. It prides itself of state-of-the-art estates in Port Harcourt, Warri, Calabar, and Lagos. Carlo Tarantola is the general manager of Prodeco.
Okay, Prodeco, we start the activity, or has been registered as company in 1996. And during this last year, we have tried to developed this oil service center here in Onne, together with all the facilities that has been constructed, residential and camp facilities. Today we count 120 expatriate and 5,000 local people. And what we can say more about Prodeco, we practically developed all the type of construction, from residential to industrial to infrastructure, and port facilities, construction objects. These are the scope of our activity. One of the points of Prodeco is the most difficult matter is the flexibility of the company. Means flexibility in terms of the scope of work, because we are following the client requirement. Flexibility in terms of engagement of our personnel. It depends on the requirement of the client again. In flexibility to move immediately from one project to another project. This is our strength, together with quality and performance and time schedule respect. Because in the oil and gas industry, the first issue is the quality and schedule.
Since its inception, Orlean Invest Group continually strives to improve its performance on the delivery promise it makes to clients and on its value-added and differentiated approach to doing business. Operational needs are provided within the facility, including catering, office and hotel accommodation. Fidelis Ene is the Director of Finance and Admin, West Africa Catering Nigeria Limited.
The Orlean Invest Group has been a major contributor to the success of our company. We partnered with them from day one, and it sharing in their vision of the future of the Nigerian market, whereby we have locally grown services of international standard managed by Nigerians for the Nigerian economy. We shared in that vision, and we shared in that vision. It propelled us in making the investment that we had made in our business. I can assure you, to the best of my knowledge, in the whole of the West African sub-region, there is no other caterer in our subsector who had done the amount of capital investment that we have done here. And that confidence came from what Orlean Invest had told us about the prospects of this market and what they need to do. And certainly, we cannot think of any success story without the motivation of Orlean Invest. Typically, catering is catering all over the world. The only difference here that we are catering to an environment that was dedicated for the oil service industry. And the oil service industry is a very multinational environment. So to that extent, catering is catering everywhere. But being here in the free zone, taking advantages of what the free zone has to offer, we have been able to position ourselves whereby we're able to attend to the multinational community here, whereby all investors living and working within the free zone, their culinary needs are met as if they are back home. And so we are having committed people who are happy working and living in Nigeria from all over the world. So that is our little contribution to ensure that the success of this zone, we're able to contribute to the culinary needs of everybody wherever in the world you come from.
Edwin Ochai, the operations manager, tells us more about their services. It's multinational, it's sourced locally.
It's actually a multinational, cuisine. You have the national menu and you have the intercontinental menu as well. It cut across, every nationals that is within the free zone and outside the free zone, because if in the free zone, as you well, it's from both those who are within the free zone and outside the free zone. They come visiting. Of course, our facility is open for them to use. So it's multinational. Even though it's a multinational, you equally still have the expat content, which is about 10 to 15%. Import, and then about 75% to 80% is sourced locally.
Operating in strict compliance with laws of the country, Orlean Invest Group have indeed positioned itself as a reference point in the operations of the oil and gas industry in the free zone. And so, through the West African Machinery and Services, WAMS, fully equipped modern maintenance facilities called Machinery Town, WAMS carries out on-time and real-time service for clients. Samuel Chujo is in the commercial department.
WAMS is a part of the parent company Orlean Invest Africa. It was set up just far back in 2011. This special arm was to take care of maintenance and repairs, fleet management, and of course sales and after-sales support for light vehicles, heavy equipment, many accessories, lifting accessories and parts, all of that matters.
WAMS Machinery and Services is indeed committed to providing clients with first-class sustainable solutions in the industry.
Our efficiency here and of course our level of professionalism here is very second to none. And I can attest to the equipment that we have here, the amount of technology that we have present here. This goes back to your previous question. All the investment has gone into securing these things, knowing that, of course, we have the leading edge in the market. So clients coming to us can be rest assured, know that they're dealing with a world-class company. And we can't do anything second to what our parent company does, which is to always deliver the best.
In Nigeria, all imported cargoes need to go through a port premises owned by the government, and so taking advantage of the 25 years lease grant to Intel's Nigeria Limited. Orlean Invest Group, the parent body as Africa's leading logistics service provider in the oil and gas free zone, has contributed in no small way to the growth of the Nigerian economy. Femi Famure is a finance and admin manager, Prodeco.
Back when I joined, the total number of staff was something like 300, and right now we have close to 5,000, which, like I said, is a blend of Nigerians and expatriates. We've been operating seamlessly. Although we have our challenges, we move very closely to the workers. We operate an open door policy, in the sense that for instance, in my office is always, you could come to me anytime. And we relate basically with the workers' representatives, duly elected. believing that once we carry them along and we look after their welfare, we talk to them from time to time, they in turn disseminate whatever we must have logically agreed together to the entire workforce.
David Alagua, the Deputy General Manager, Common Services, takes us through the community service and corporate social responsibility, CSR, of the group.
A factory that's been set up by Orlean Invest, where we interviewed 1,000 women from all our host communities and came up with the best 300. I tell you, we are teaching them to stitch the best coveralls that you will ever find anywhere. And I'm not bragging. I mean, it's not being arrogant. But what we did was we first and foremost, white coveralls. In the zone, the most common fabric worn is a coverall. So if we can train these women to make coveralls, they already have a job. I mean, we're talking of, like, goodness knows how many people work in the zone. So already, all these companies, the idea is that eventually these companies would all order from us. And then, of course, they are taught to stitch super. We went around and bought coveralls from overseas, bought coveralls from the markets here, used them as our prototypes, and we were determined to beat them, and I believe that we've done. But most importantly, those women have acquired a skill for life. Now, if we go into Onne, every road that you will drive on, that's anything that's a road in Onne, we have constructed. So far, we've done 10 kilometers of a road network. And not only of road network, we've also done 20 kilometers of drainage. I hope you appreciate that the drainage is even costlier than the road itself. And our roads are concrete roads. They're not asphalt. They're concrete roads. They're designed to last 100 years. We have 3 medical clinics, mobile clinics as we call them. They go into Onne and Ogu every day. We have a consultancy hospital that runs the clinic on our behalf. They go in there with doctors, 2 doctors and 2 nurses every day. Consultancy is free. It doesn't matter whether you are from the community or an indigent or just living or working, whatever. Everybody is entitled to it. We have special days for children, and that has run non-stop for the best part of 4 years, 4 or 5 years. No, I think it's up to about 6 years because the truck is that old. Yes, and we just recently acquired a new one which we're sending to Warri, and it has started. It's going to be running between the Shekiri and the Ogbejo communities. That's a test run. Of course, as the demand grows, we would also send more trucks.